I remember when the new Model 3 was announced with the LED bar, I started picturing all the interesting things it could do, but then it was released, and I was like,
what the hell is wrong with you people?
For a tech company like Tesla, I was expecting more than just a simple LED strip like the ones that you get from the dollar store. It's hard to believe, but sometimes it feels like a simple DIY project can outdo a trillion-dollar company, so I decided to make a better one. For the LED bar, I remember seeing this often sold for Teslas. They are super slim, perfect for the air vent installation, and are controlled by a remote, but I couldn't find any info on whether they could be controlled by something like the ESP32, so I decided to just buy one and test it for myself. When it arrived, I hooked it up, loaded the WLED project, and it worked instantly. And after a bit of trial and error, I discovered that it has 148 LEDs. And with that little success, it gave me the motivation to keep going. And later on, I made this PCB where the LED bar just snaps on and off for an easy installation. My next step was to tap into the car signals to know, for example, whether the car is charging or if its autopilot is activated. Then use this to update the LED colors. Luckily, I've already done a lot of work and project on that. And here's a quick summary. I used an ESP32 with the CAN bus shield to connect directly to the car using the OBD2 harness, read all the signals and immediately repackage them and broadcast them wirelessly over ESP-NOW. And what I needed to add for this LED setup is a second ESP32 that receives those signals and update the LEDs inside the vent depending on the logic. The car is always sending all kinds of signals, but I only needed to monitor a handful. And if you're curious how I decipher the signals, I'll link to the DBC file that explains all the signals, where to find them, and what they represent. Now comes the fun part, figuring out what to do with the LEDs. I decided to start simple. While charging, the LED strip will turn green, and when autopilot or FSD is activated, it shifts to blue, and bright white when the doors are open. And to add a subtle polish, I made the LEDs echo the screen brightness, so softening at night and brighten up under the full sun. So to summarize, a signal is generated at the car's CAN bus, the first ESP32 with the CAN shield picks it up, sends it over ESP-NOW, then the second ESP32 receives it, does some logic, then updates the LEDs when needed. Now that's clear, let's dive a little deeper into the technical side and look at a specific example start to end. And now today's video sponsor, PCBWay. I've been a loyal user of PCBWay for several years, using their services for my DIY project and 3D prints. I'm a big fan of their $5 for 10 pieces promotion, allowing me to experiment without breaking the bank. If you share my passion for DIY project and looking to elevate your creations, consider giving PCBWay a try. You can find a link to their services down below. Now back to the video. Before even starting, I needed to figure out which signal to monitor. Finding the right one can be tricky, because manufacturers don't share this info publicly, so you either reverse engineer the CAN bus yourself, which takes a lot of time, or if you're lucky, you find a shared DBC file. For my Model 3, I found a partial DBC file on GitHub. I searched it for any charging related signals and I found one that looked promising. I double checked it with Savvy CAN after loading the DBC file, and sure enough, it reflected the car charging status. Now that I know which signal I'm looking for, I define it in the code so I can use it later. When the charging cable is plugged in, I know the car sends CAN messages with the new values. The ESP32 with the CAN shield connected to an OBD2 harness under the center console picks up those signals. The ESP32 is running my custom gateway code, which basically reads every single CAN message, ID and data, packs it into an ESP-NOW, and broadcasts it to any ESP-NOW compatible device. On the other end, a second ESP32, which is also listening on ESP-NOW, receives that stream, filters, and picks out the packages with ID 350. According to the DBC file, this is the specific value we are after to figure out the charging status. It starts at bit 11 and is 3 bits long. I extracted those values, converted them into an integer, and passed the value to the update charging state function. That function checks if the charging status has changed. If not, it ignores it. But if it has changed, the function looks up the meaning of the new value. These values are often defined in the DBC file at the bottom. So 0 for disconnected, 3 for charging, and so on. Since I only care about whether the car is charging or not, I compared it to the charging value, which is 3. If that value changes, the code triggers a mode update, sets the target color to green, and then calls setLEDColor. This flags another task running on the ESP32 CAN core to update the LEDs using the update LED strip color. That function uses the fill solid from the fast LED library to actually set the LEDs to green. So this is the end-to-end flow in a nutshell. I applied the same flow to all the signals: door status, autopilot, screen brightness. So I find the CAN ID, extract the signal value, process it, and update the LEDs colors accordingly. However, there are two things I skipped earlier just to make things a little bit simpler. One, I mentioned I used one ESP32 with a CAN shield, but in reality I actually used two. That's because Tesla has multiple CAN buses. Some signals like the autopilot or FSD can only be found on the chassis CAN bus, and the rest of the signals I needed were on the vehicle CAN bus, so I needed two. The first ESP32 is installed under the center console, and the second one is installed under the pillar on the passenger side. And two, initially the ESP32 was broadcasting every CAN message. I later added an optional filter in the code, so only the messages the receivers actually need are sent. This cuts the ESP32 heat output, lowers the CPU usage, and made the whole setup a little bit more efficient. As you probably know from my previous projects, receivers refer to several devices. For example, here the LED bar, but I also have the garage door opener and the mini screen from my previous projects. There is plenty of room for improvement. I've been toying with adding a pulsing cue to the autopilot hands-on the wheel alerts, and perhaps a charging animation that shifts with the battery percentage change. And since the LED bar is made up of individually addressable LEDs, one can just go crazy with all sorts of animations. But for now, I simply kept it simple. I have been using the bar for months now and I'm pretty happy with it. And for my channel members, thank you. The source code and everything you need to try this for yourself will be in the description, and of course soon for everyone else. Be sure to check the description. I might add extra notes about the project if I miss them in the video. And once again, thank you for watching.